the best sporting show in the whole of the universe. Is new season to, of course, right on a band radio scope on our YouTube channel, on Apple Podcasts, and of course anywhere else that you can think of that you can listen to us. We'll be running quickly through the world of football and of course a little bit of basketball. The playoffs are still on. The playoffs for the NHL is on right now. Last night, Florida defeated the Edmonton Oilers 5-2, which is defeated Oilers last night 5-2, which in the game five of the series. Bad one for Canada if you're asking, but of course, never say never. They say the game six that's going to be happening in Edmonton as the time goes on. Olali, I'm going to jump to you right now quickly for game four. The Indiana Pacers choked within the last maybe 3-4 minutes. They were leading by 10 points at a particular stage of the game, and they choked basically. Of course, Alex Caruso making history, being the only guy that did not score 20 consecutive points in the regular season. To do that in the playoffs, that shows you is an A-listed player or underrated player, if you ask me. And they showed class. SGA showed grit. A couple of free throws, some missed by the Pacer guy that got 28 points off the bench in game three. As it stands right now, I think we can definitely. I don't know why everybody feels the series was over, and that includes me as well. I think the momentum would definitely shift to OKC. Next game in Oklahoma. And if they definitely, which I think they will win, if they win that, the momentum shifts emphatically to their side, and I think the series will end in 6 games. Can you quickly run us through what you think happened? Why do you think the Pacers choked? While they were taking a pretty solid lead, and truth be told, they were not bad defensively on the night. I don't know what happened to them on that night. Quick summary from your side.
Yeah, yeah. So, like we always said before the series started, you always know that Oklahoma City Thunder, they are capable of at least winning one game on the road or two there. But if there is any need for them to win two, you are very sure of that. Of course, they have that capability. After losing game three, I give it to the Indiana Pacers. They played very well in game three. They ran, what do you call it? The Oklahoma City Thunder out out of the court. They were so tired in the first. The teams are very bad in half court basketball. They make use of their transition basketball and they won. But on this day, the Thunders, I think, they play elite defense, and that has been their, what do you call it, their identity throughout the season. That fourth quarter,
Yeah.
they raised the bar in terms of defending, and they didn't give Oklahoma, what do you call it, the Pacers any chance to probably extend those leagues until they caught up with them, and they eventually won the game. But again, there were a lot of questions about the referee. A lot of people questioned the kind of this
Official.
Shea Alexandra. I think he had almost, is it 14 free throws in the last 3 minutes or
Yeah.
something of the game. People
Yeah.
question the fact that it didn't start today. A lot of people, I think, one of the reasons why people don't really enjoy Shea Alexander, they believe this too much, and they said he probably plays. There's a way he plays that he plays to the whistle in such a way, and people believe the way Thunder defend, the way Thunder defend other teams. Other teams are not allowed to defend their own offensive player like that, which makes it more difficult. There
Discipline.
were some of this kind of reservation during the Denver series, but again, Denver doesn't really have so much love across the league, so people didn't really lay emphasis on those things.
Yeah,
And
attention to it.
there's there are popular figures within the NBA world, journalists who quoted and saying who were seen quoted on the on X, Twitter, that this is the I as in like insinuating like the referee when I just had a very terrible game. So, but again, you have to give it to the Thunders. Now the momentum has shifted to them. They are favourite to win game 5. But I don't see them losing that game at all. They are the
Yeah,
better team. You always know that Pacers are going to have any chance of winning this series. It is very, very important for them to win that game 4. Now that it's 2-2,
yeah, yeah.
it is
To
advantage.
secure more votes.
Is
Yeah.
advantage Thunders.
Yeah, of course. So what are we looking for? Advantage Thunders in game 5. I think that's going to happen, and this series will end in 6 games. I don't want it to end in 6 games, but definitely that's what I'm looking at. Anyways, we'll
I can't
sorry,
from the Pacers are facing from what you've seen so far in 4
I can't hear you a lot.
games.
Yeah,
Talibot is an elite guard, but you could see that from all those 4 games, seems they lack a true superstar. It seems
yeah,
they
yeah,
lack a true superstar, and Tyrese has not really had, let me say, what you can call a signature game in this series. It's been here or there. I think his best game is game 3, where he had like
mhm,
22 points, 12 assists. They
yeah,
at the time
yeah,
some when the old team is either the old team game 3 was probably won for them by the bench. Their bench scored like 40
yeah, yeah.
something or 40 something, which is very dented. So up until now,
Mhm.
4 games, even the game 1 where he scored, what do you call it, the game winner. Up until that moment in the fourth quarter, he didn't really add much of a very good game. So you could see going to 5 6 games, you can't say this is the go-to guy for the Pacers
For the Pacers,
in these days. And I think that is what is like the Oklahoma
you know,
City. Shea has
that they have a
scored more than 30 points in 3 games. The only and he didn't have
yeah.
he didn't even have a bad game in game 4. It was just
By his standard, it wasn't just good enough by his standard. We lost Alawale there. Alawale was just saying, of course, reasons why potentially the Pacers are not genuine contenders in terms of this particular series. They're not genuine contenders in this particular series. Of course, I feel I feel the snag on this because their system they will not drop you 40 points like you expect of a Steph Curry when the chips are down, basically because of their system. Their system is surrounded or built around not having a superstar, but definitely this is hurting them as the series proceeds. Because at this particular point in time, you probably need someone that will be okay. I want to take the game back.
when the system is not working, you need somebody to defy the logic and just
Exactly.
probably put the team
Like,
on his
yeah,
back
exactly.
and
I
do
get
some unimaginable things. And
exactly,
that's why
exactly.
superstars are superstars.
As superstars, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Like a player that will come and take the game by the scope of the night. Like, okay, I'm going to own it. This is not working. Let's do something else. But of course, I think we're agreeing. For the first time in this series, I think he's going to end in 6. I believe you think he's going to end in 6 as well. Anyways, let's go to the not so important tournament
Of
that is
course.
currently happening in the world of football right now, which is the FIFA Club World Cup. I think this is it was poorly organized, poorly thought of, and definitely too expensive for the delivery that we are getting right now. It's early days. I don't want to be a party pooper, but of course it gives you mixed feeling in terms of expectation. Everybody's always happy when it's about the World Cup, UEFA Champions League, even semi-finals of the Europa League. You're like, okay, a tournament is currently going on right now. I love this tournament. Let's go watch it. But this is not giving you the vibe. And the first problem that we had is the fact that the tickets were too expensive. That was the first issue that they had. And after that, they tried to lower the fee of the tickets, drop it to I think a ridiculous $10 or $8 for students, 40 something bucks for non-students in the states. Number two was the venue of the tournament itself. Hosting this kind of inaugural tournament in the United States was a no-no. It's a no-no. Maybe because I think the World Cup is happening in Canada, Mexico, and United. Let's give them a little bit of vibe. But it's a no-no. Uh, a tournament like this, if it was being hosted in probably England, Spain, and Germany, the visibility would be crazy. The Premier League would definitely, which is the best soap opera in the whole wide world, the best drama in the whole wide world, would give them that visibility that they needed. They lack that. And the top problem they have with this tournament is probably the kind of things that I don't know 100% the criteria for but the teams playing. Couple of those teams were teams that won past UEFA Champions League. I don't know what Chelsea is doing there. For instance, Chelsea won the UEFA Champions League. I can't remember
2021,
2020
2021,
2021
2021.
exactly, and this tournament is 4 years after. I don't know understand why Chelsea is there. Chelsea would not, as bad as United are right now, as bad as you would think Arsenal is, or less potential that they've not won the Champions League ever before. The kind of command that United, Arsenal will command in the US is crazy. It's going to definitely give you more visibility. Inviting a semi-professional team like Auckland from Australia that were defeated 10-0 by Bayern Munich on day two of the tournament just gives it a bad taste in the mouth, right? But I want to sample your own opinion about this. I don't want to rant and go on and on about how bad the tournament is. I want to hear your own opinion about it, Tonali. Go ahead.
Yeah, they say if you are old enough in this life, you will see a lot of very terrible things. I think that's what is happening in the world of football now. I think the first thing in the first instance is there was no need for this tournament in the first instance. It was just a pure greed thing. FIFA ordinarily should concentrate on focusing on what do you
Yeah,
call
the
it,
World Cup.
national team football, which is their strength. Um, I think the World Club Cup should have been left to be the champions of all what do you call it, all continental champions. That's when they play like 6 or 8
And they,
teams
they and they have that
and find
already.
a way to make it a little bit and find a way to make it a little bit more exciting. I think instead of that straight knockouts, uh probably make it a bit of group stage. But the challenge there is European football is far ahead of every other continent when you come when it whatever call is probably the closest is going to be South America. And in recent years, South American footballers don't even stay at home for that so long. So there's always that gap there. And this, like I said, this tournament in the first place, there was no need for it. We could all agree. Can you hear
Yeah, I
me?
can hear
This
you.
this
Go
one
ahead.
was no need for it. Uh, and the challenge was like rightly said everything. The criteria for selecting some of these teams, Liverpool should have been there, Arsenal have been there, probably Barcelona should have been there. These are teams who are, of course, United have not been so doing well. You can understand why probably United there will be there won't be any footballing justification to select United. You understand
Yeah.
that, but you could see where FIFA is coming from. FIFA is trying to make the clubs popularity and make a lot of money, and they want to make it like a fiesta. If they had their ways, they would want to play this competition every year or 2 years, but it's just not visible. And because for you to do this kind of 64 or 32 teams tournament, you have to move it to the summer where every other thing is off. And so they are trying to give you the vibes of the World Cup. And the World Cup is quite different. It's a national team thing. There's a lot of patriotism. Every English fans that is going there are going to support a single team. Every German fans that are going there are going to support it. So it's a different feel.
Yeah,
Past that,
yeah.
because you are taking it to United States, number one, the real fans, but if you are charging that much, that means you are expecting people from the corporate world, all these big people to come. They won't come just come and be singing and be making,
Making noise.
what do you call it? So the atmosphere in the stadium will be a bit just too corporate and silent.
Yeah,
And like the criteria for selecting some teams, I think was just so terrible. I think they shouldn't have make it this big. They could have probably make it a bit of probably 24,
for 16
16,
exactly. For starters,
and just
put
16,
yeah, put quality
and
teams
just
together.
select one team from all those Asia,
Mm-hmm.
Oceania, Africa, and mix them up with some of these European. Probably you can give South America like 3 slots. 16 could have been much better rather than this. Oh, but of course, I think the tournament will get better as it goes on. You could see there's a Palmeiras Porto that is going to play later today, which looks like something that on paper that looks very exciting.
Yeah, and
A Portuguese team against a
Brazilian
Brazilian
team.
team. There should be a bit of balance there. I think it will pick up gradually. But the challenge the tournament will always be facing is this. After watching the UEFA Champions League up to May, when you've seen Chelsea, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Arsenal, but after they've competed there, seeing them again competing in another tournament looks like the fans are already
Exhausted. We're exhausted.
uh
We're
there's
not
a
motivated.
fatigue, exactly.
We're not motivated to
You
watch
understand? There's a
anything.
fatigue already. Like, okay, we just finished watching the UEFA Champions League. So FIFA is just forcing this thing, but whatever it is, let's see. It's all about the money. And for all the Super Leagues that they've been opposing, I think they probably done
A worse form,
a worse
worse form
job than what the club probably want,
of Super League.
what the club wanted to do, or what UEFA has been able to at least try to modify.
Yeah,
But again, we have to talk about it and just let's go with the flow.
yeah,
I think the latter stages will probably be a little bit
yeah.
better.
I'm thinking of
A lot of these European
finals.
teams will treat
Yeah,
this competition more like a preseason, like where uh like the second half, the way Bayern Munich treat the Auckland game,
yeah.
they'll probably have to play some of these their younger players because the truth is they will have little times to prepare for the next season with this competition.
In
Now
place.
they have to go on break probably in July and the season resume in August. So the early parts of the competition when they probably play some weaker teams, they might probably use it
For
to see some of the young
young
talent they
talents.
have.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, a rundown of the results so far. Al Ali played a 0-0 draw against Inter Miami. Inter Miami goalkeeper saving a penalty in the course of that. He actually did get them that draw in that particular game. PSG so far has defeated Atletico Madrid 3-0 in the game earlier today. Bayern Munich defeated Auckland 10-0. It must be noted that the coach of Auckland is a real estate manager. A couple of their players are semi-professional players that work in McDonald's and what.
Debo, sorry, before you go
Yeah,
on, there was something I observed about the timing of the games. So, and these are the challenge FIFA is trying to make sure the games take place in a time that will be favorable to people in
in
Europe
Europe.
and Africa, probably where you have the bulk of the people that will watch. And I think I've tried to check the fixtures for the next few games. The last game of the day is probably that 11 p.m. Nigerian time, and which means that you are talking about roughly 5 p.m. over there
Yeah,
in either in the east
yeah,
coast of the United
yeah.
States, and probably around 3 p.m. in the
West
west
Coast,
coast.
yeah.
So you could see the Bayern Munich game was probably played as early as 7 a.m.
Yeah, yeah,
because the game took
yeah.
sorry,
No, go
the
on.
Bayern Munich game was 5. That was like probably it was played as early as 12 p.m. in the afternoon over there. So you hardly see night games. I mean night games in United States,
United
all
States
because
up because they want
they don't want
to
situation whereby
accommodate.
fans in Europe will probably have to be waking up in the middle of the night to watch some of these games. And these kind of things you will probably find these are difficulties that it is different. Like I say, if it is a national team football,
Yeah,
it's something that happens once in a
yeah.
while. It gives it that glamour, and it could have been better to see some of these games at night,
than
not.
than chop because some of these games will happen on a Monday, Tuesday, weekend. You probably will be able to do it.
Do you
But what
understand?
about the
Weekends even
weekday? Yeah.
better.
What about the
But
weekday?
imagine on the weekdays having games played at
Let, let's just call it.
1 p.m.
Let's
over there
call it
in the
spade a
state.
spade. It's just not a tournament that should be happening. Anyways, PSG did win 4-0 against Atletico Madrid. They signed defender from Barcelona. Clement Legend actually got a red card in this particular encounter. Just to run down through the transfer news that we have right now, there is rumors of Darwin Núñez moving to AC Milan. How that is going to go, we don't know. Is it going to be a loan with an obligation to buy? Because I don't think AC Milan are that financially buoyant to pay the price for Darwin Núñez. Darwin Núñez definitely will be going for at least 40 to 60 million pounds as it stands based on inflated valuation that we have across Europe. Of course, Gokares has rejected United. He wants to play in European tournaments, one of the elite European tournaments. Olali, why was United going for Gokares in the first instance? When they know they cannot offer him European football, it would want definitely, but at the same time, why is he not accepting United? He still be able to test himself against the elite teams in the Premier League, which is probably the most hyped league. Maybe not the best league in the world, but the most hyped league in the world right now. What do you think about this rejection, and where potentially does Gokores stand to go now?
So Gyökeres and Osimhen's case are two of the, let me say, strange uh,
Transfers.
transfer business that we are looking at how is it potentially going to end. If you're not a United fan, I think it's very difficult now to make a case for Manchester United. We just have to accept that uh, whatever the experiment for the last 12 years probably has not worked. I've not probably seen any player that has joined United in the last 12 years that has gotten better, that his stock has raised, as in probably gone up in those periods. Everybody that has joined probably either remained the same or has gone down. So it's difficult for you to. And what is even the, if he joins now, what is the probability that they finish in the top four, top five next season? So I can understand why he doesn't want to join United at this moment. But the problem is having is I'm not even sure how Sporting Lisbon is going to make it easy for any clubs that want to sign him.
Yeah, that's
It looks like
yeah,
Arsenal,
yeah,
but even the Arsenal news we've not been getting
yeah.
is been from neutrals. We've not been getting from insiders from Arsenal, or let me say from the British media of Arsenal showing interest in him.
Costing. Yeah, Arsenal
But
did.
Arsenal actually need to
Arsenal
sign
did.
a
They said
striker.
Arsenal did bid for him, but now Arsenal doesn't want to go over the 70 million euros valuation that he had with Sporting Lisbon, a gentleman agreement that okay, I'll be able to go next
No,
season, but it has to be
that's naive on his part.
like
Nobody
like
does a gentleman agreement in
70 million.
football. If you go and ask,
But
if you go and
but
ask Harry Kane
but
with Daniel
but
Levy, you don't do a gentleman
Ronaldo did it
agreement.
with Manchester United. It's just
See, there
just
will
just
be,
don't be greedy.
you
The club
see,
doesn't the club doesn't need to be greedy.
exactly. There's something they say in the NBA at times that, especially in the small market teams like New Orleans Pelicans, people will say the way you treat any superstar that plays there determines how many superstars
Be willing
that
to
even want you to be that want to be drafted by those teams. If you play a bad losers game, probably nobody wants to go there. But sometimes if you can honor some gentleman agreements,
yeah,
stay to the man you are, sometimes it benefits you
the
in the
long run,
future because people make reference to, oh, Ronaldo when he wanted to leave, they requested that he should spend 1 more
one
year.
more
He
year he
did,
did, and they allowed
and
him.
you understand. So, but again, I don't understand what is going on between him and Sporting Lisbon,
Yeah,
and I understand why Arsenal doesn't want to
go over the
overpay, because the moment you overpay for one player now, you set the tune for the whole transfer window.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, Moriba to Celta Vigo is being done right now. 600,000 pounds will be going to the pocket of Barcelona. I'm pretty sure they do need that 600.
That Moriba, was it not that hype player like
Yeah, that went to
that period? Like,
RB Leipzig. Yeah, it was one that went to RB Leipzig, and ever since then, the stock went down. Of course, Tottenham Hotspur has signed Teles Martins from Bayern Munich on full. The amount being touted is between 30 to 35 million pounds. Florence Rees transfer deal has been sealed, makes him the third most expensive player in the history of football. I hope he does well at Liverpool. United now at the crossroads with Mbuemo with the appointment of the former Brentford coach at Spurs, and now looking at three different players, which I think one of them is an improvement on Mbuemo himself. Eze, number one, Clivert, and Semeyo. If you had to choose one of these three, who would you be choosing? Eze definitely for me. I think he's the best out of the rest, and he can
now
actually play
my
on
challenge
the left forward or right forward. Preferably is the number 10, but you could still play in either of the four position. Go ahead, Alari.
now I'm trying to look at what Amorim is trying to do based on his this is my philosophy, this is what I want.
Yeah.
Eze, I could have probably select between Eze and Matthias Cunha. Uh, because I believe Eze is better suited to play him in that number 10.
Uh-huh.
And I think that is where Matthias Cunha and two. Matthias Cunha can actually lead the line, of course,
Yeah.
but if you look at the way he plays, he's better suited to that link up playing
Yeah.
behind the
Really.
striker. He knows how to use the space, he knows how to
Uh-huh.
use.
Uh-huh.
Um Semenyo looks like that one that is a bit underrated. Yeah, I would take Eze, but I would take Eze, but I just don't know how it's going to fit into what Mr. Amorim is trying to do. How does it fit him? Except he's going to play Matthias Cunha. But if that's not the case, I think based on the fit, I think Semenyo might be
The best
that
option.
one that's
That makes sense for the most.
yes
Yeah,
is the best
yeah, and
option.
like
Nah.
before you came on the show, I was doing a little bit of analysis of the situation in United because we're definitely going to have so many transfer merry-go-round. Alejandro Garnacho definitely is going to leave United this summer. Uh, we don't know what's going to happen to a certain Jordan Sancho back at United. Marcus Rashford is holding out for Barcelona. Will Barcelona be able to afford both his transfer fee and his wages? That remains to be seen. So there's going to be a lot of movement
So
going out of United, and
so the challenge with United now is
those leaving needs to be definitely replaced as well. So what's going to be the situation like in that regard?
it's going to be difficult. It's going to be a challenging transfer window. It's going to be a lot of disappointment for United. I think we just have to accept that. United will be paying for some desperation they showed some few years back. In they've handed over the control over negotiation to some of these players. Apparently, Jordan Sancho is not really interested in football. We are hearing that one of the reasons why Chelsea did not
It's because
retain him was because of
they wanted more
he's not backing down on
on
his.
his transfer fee.
He wanted that at least whatever it was earning at United, and it was earning over £300,000.
Yeah.
You could just imagine. So, as far as it's concerned, he's content to come back to United and just sit
See,
down on the bench,
see
just
how
earn that money.
contract.
You understand? Probably the same thing it would the case with Rashford. And with that period when Rashford was being offered that new contract, a lot of people were just like, why the hurry? Why did all these increase? So they will pay for all those things because it will be difficult to move players on. That's what it's going to be. And let's be sincere, United doesn't have that luxury of money to spend. Forget about whatever valuation you see about clubs. They need to sell to sign more. They've already spent almost 60 something, or was it sell on Mateus Cunha?
Yeah.
I'm not sure they have a budget of 150 million to spend. So, and that's why I'm sure this Umbemo's negotiation is taking a bit longer.
Yeah.
Brentford is trying to make the situation, and United are trying not to overspend. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, if they sign Mbemu, I just see that could be the end of their transfer window, except they were able to move
More players out.
um, out, which
Sancho,
as it stands now,
Marcus
I don't
Rashford.
realistically, who wants Rashford? I think it's Rashford that wanted Barcelona. I'm not sure if Barcelona are actually showing interest in him. And for Sancho, probably another loan. You have to find another loan deal,
Don't deal
which probably you will probably still have, probably be paying 70% of
of
his
his
wages.
wages. Yeah,
So it will take time. They will probably have to, and some of these players are ready to frustrate whatever sales United wants to do with them. They rather just run out their contract.
yeah.
So it will take time for you to be able to move out all these bad contracts. And that's why the United rebuild doesn't look like
Something
something
that's going
that
to
will take
happen
off anytime
anytime
soon.
soon. Anyways, Martinez, Emiliano Martinez could be moving to Manchester United as well. And Onana has been supported by legendary Van der Sar in the course of this week. I don't know why the supports are coming for Onana. Whatever is happening there, we don't know. Maybe some forces in United does not want Onana shifted yet, but Martinez will definitely be an improvement on what United have right now with Onana. And the Robinson to Atletico Madrid is an option as well that's been touted. And to the final G's will be Gattuso being the coach of Italy. This sounds to some people they are skeptical about it, but probably because they've not been looking at what Gattuso has done since he became coach. He started in Switzerland with I forgot the name of the club right now. Did well with them before he moved. Before he helped AC Milan, he helped AC Milan as well, and then started whatever it is that we're seeing at Napoli right now. Before Spalletti actually won them the league. So Gattuso, it's that, and they really did. I think they really needed in Italy right now. Italy are not blessed with so much talent as it stands. Let's be sincere with ourselves. Not just Italy, football in total. In general, is not blessed with so many talents right now. So the expectation should be lower a little bit less. I can and I think Olawale you'll be able to testify to this. Back in the days when you have players like Maldini, Cannavaro, Nesta, Panucci, Zambrota. I'm talking about the defense right now. Zambrota, and you look at the defense of it,
Mm-hmm.
you know it's top notch. It's solid. These days, who do they have? Who do they have these days?
Well, it's difficult.
Who do they have these days? And if
So,
you look down the line, if you look down the line, always in their midfield they will have one cerebral player like Pello. They will have like a Roberto Baggio, a Totti, Francesco Totti, or Del Piero. And one good striker. But if you look at the Italian team right now, who do they have compared to those guys? So the expectation I think should be managed for Italy. What's your own opinion about that?
yeah, I agree with you, but I still think they should have been They should have been able to manage to get probably a better candidate. Uh,
Nobody,
I don't know why.
nobody,
I don't know why
nobody
nobody
wants
was
to go
looking
to a
at
ship.
that.
Nobody wants to go to a
The
ship.
the what do you call it? The Atlanta manager
Atalanta
Gasperini.
Gasperini, he has gone
And
to
the
AC
truth
Milan.
is, I think they overachieved by winning the Euros in 2021,
Yeah,
which probably didn't make them realize some certain things. England and the way the competition just probably worked out for them. England dashed them the competition.
yeah,
Sorry, Southgate dashed them that competition. Let me just say it like that. And Italian football, right from when they won the World Cup in 2006, it's been this low, a little bit up, low, 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 low. They've not been to the World.
yeah,
They were not at the last World Cup. If I
yeah, yeah.
was
Correct.
it
Yeah,
last World Cup or the last two World Cups? The
last two
last two
World
World Cups
Cups.
they've
They
not
missed
been,
out on the last two World Cups.
which is something that is very strange for Italy with the numbers of countries that are participating. And like you said, the expectation should be very low. But we know what the Italians are capable of when they could gather their compactness together. We can never tell. Gazzo
Yeah,
might be able to uh, do probably is charisma, being a charismatic person. Let's see how it's going to
yeah,
rub on the players. And
Yeah.
but like you rightly said, I think it's just simple. You look around, you just don't see anything convincing. You know, every team had this structure that there is a way they produce players surrounding that structure. If you look at the Argentine structure of those days, there's that big number nine, either a
Yeah.
Batistuta, either a Crespo,
Yeah.
um,
Canija.
Brushaga, all those kind of, and
Yeah.
there's this kind of smaller forward, either a Claudio Caniggia, a Claudio Lopez kind
Yeah.
of thing,
But,
a
yeah.
Sabiola, but probably Messi is
Yeah.
more an advance of that kind of player. Then there's always this a Maradona kind of player, a Riquelme kind of
Odega.
player, a Pablo Aimar kind of player that kind of suits the way they play. The same thing with the Brazilian
Mm-hmm.
team. And that was the way it was with the Italian team. Then there's a very big striker. There's a number 10 who probably is like a 8 and a 10. The
And the
Roberto
10.
Baggio,
Yeah, that will be in that hole.
Totti,
Del Pero,
yeah, the Alexander
Totti,
De Piero. And you see some commanding bodies in that midfield, which of late, I don't know
and
if it is
they
coaching,
will have a
if it
very
is,
glorious goalkeeper, and that defense is
do you understand?
impenetrable. The defense is
So,
always
but
there.
probably you don't understand. The probably is because the development the players are going through now. Those kind of things is kind of fading up, and you don't really have that
Blame,
Italian
blame,
number
blame,
10 that you look at and
blame,
say, oh, wow,
blame Pep
this guy.
Guardiola. It's Guardiola's fault. At least according to Fabio Capello, it's Guardiola's fault.
Ah. So they don't.
Yeah.
I think like you already said, the expectation just have to be lower. They should just take whatever. Uh, you see, something about cup competition is you can just be on the favorable side of the draws. Some big teams might just have messed up, not topping their group and leaving the parts very easy for you. So who knows? And if Kazuso Charisma can rub on the players, they still have some very decent players who, if you can probably
Who is that decent player?
put them
I'm trying
together,
to
they
think
can
about
be a bit compact.
which decent player they have. Barella, Asebi. I
Barella,
think that I think that this guy is their best striker. What's this guy's name? The guy
I
in
think
Fiorentina.
Sandro Tolani is not
No,
bad. Barella
Sandro
is not.
Talani is not top. It's not. Those are not. They are not top notch. Remember when you have a challenge of Pelo, Gattuso,
You have a
Ambrosini.
Camoranesi,
You have a Camoranesi. You know, like it's just even
Basimo Perota,
Perot exactly Perota.
Gianluca
Even look at
Zambrotta,
Zabrota.
Gianluca
You know,
Zambrotta,
yeah,
Mr. Play
it's
everywhere.
just that guy can play everywhere. I think the only role that guy has not played, that I've not seen him play before, is number 9. That's the only role that I've never seen him play. He has played 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11, 8, and 10. See, that's a good time for football, anyways. Blame it on Guardiola. Anyways, that will be wrap up the show. Till we see you again next week. My name is Lani Adebody. It's the best morning show in the world of the universe. It's still Sister Sport. Have a wonderful day, guys.